Want to give an update to the story that we reported on. You remember the brother, his name is Dijon Kizzie, and he was shot and killed by the race soldiers with the LA Sheriff's Department. You know, that one that have the white supremacist gang called the Executioners running all around. You have that sheriff, Alex Villanueva. He is covers for that. He goes along with that. And he is, as far as I'm concerned, he's a white supremacist as well. Don't care what his color is. He's a white supremacist. He operates that way. He moves that way. Well, so I want to play a clip of the attorneys talking about what happened with the autopsy results, and we'll, follow behind it.
We are here today standing strong for justice. We seek justice on behalf of the family of Dijon Kizzie. Mr. Kizzie was shot 19 times on August 31st, 2020. I repeat, he was shot 19 times. And I can care less what Sheriff Villanueva says, seeking to justify that lack of humanity, because 19 times of firing into a man's body says to me that there's been poor training, as Mr. Gallipo will tell you about. 19 times firing into a man's body says to me that there was no humanity and that there was a warrior mentality that permeates law enforcement across America.
So I've come here today to proclaim to you all here in Los Angeles, California, that you all are not immune to the 1619 pandemic. And Exhibit 1 is the execution of Dijon Kizzie. And so, despite how the sheriff tries to justify the unjustifiable, we want you to know that this is part of a larger pattern going all across America. And as Attorney Douglas and Attorney Gallipo have shared with me, it is a worse pattern amongst the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. And so if we can raise the attention that Black Lives Matter here in Los Angeles.
Okay, so you heard what was said. Now, most of the shots that went into the body of the brother, he was already on the ground, okay? So the first brother, his name was Carl Douglas. He was saying that he was shot at 19 times, but actually 15 bullets actually went into his body, okay? So 7 of which of the bullets says that were in his back as he was facing away from the cops, according to the doctor that did the autopsy. And they say many of the wounds were elongated, meaning that he was on the ground when most of this was happening. So they just basically executed that brother. That's just what they're doing. So we just saw our sister Breonna Taylor. Of course, she was, murdered by race soldiers. Nothing happened to them. And we see this situation. And, we don't see no one arrested. We don't see anything going on with this situation as well. And as, a lot of people don't agree with Benjamin Crump, but as I said before, these folks in this country go keep Benjamin Crump busy. You can say whatever you want to say about him. He shouldn't be needed. But this system, wicked as it is, keeps a job for people like Ben Crump and Lee Merritt. It keeps them busy. Now, we talked about in the live stream how this system wants to protect race soldiers so bad that they don't care about the millions of dollars in damage that happens to cities because they let these race soldiers go free. They'd rather see a whole city go down than arrest one of these race soldiers. Do you know any time that the race soldiers have done anything to black people, murdered black people, only 1% of the time they have ever been convicted. That means 99% of the time they get away with murdering black folks underneath the guise of qualified immunity. Now, we know Donald Trump is not going to end it, and Joe Biden also said he's not ending qualified immunity. So that's why I don't like black folks coming to tell me or try to voter shame people that I know about Joe Biden when he's not ending qualified immunity. He's not. Why should we reward him? I'm along the guise of not, some people may say, well, we got, we got to pick the lesser of two evils. I don't pick evil. And now one of them is a good choice. You listen to both of them talk, you got Tweedledee and Tweedledum. That's who we have. And now one of them is offering anything to black folk. Now one of them. While black folks is saying in qualified immunity, arrest the race soldiers, what the Democrats are doing, putting out ads with strippers, telling black folks to get your booty to the pole. Now on our website, we covered that. So if you want to see my opinion on that in the video in its entirety, and I break all that down, you can go to AfricanDiasporaNews.org, join our site. You can watch anything that's uncensored there. Here on YouTube, they've been, age restricting, censoring that video. So, but if you've seen the video already, some of you may have. This is what the Democrat rather give us. We say arrest the race soldiers. They say, nope, we'll give you twerking big booty strippers. We'll give you that. We need reparations. Nah, we'll give you strippers. This is what those people think about us. It's very disrespectful. Very, very disrespectful. So they were saying that, of course, the brother wasn't holding a gun at all. But, you don't have to hold a gun. You could be asleep and they kill you. Like Breonna Taylor. You don't have to be holding a gun. Your skin is the threat. Your existence is the threat to them. I mean, we all haven't figured that out yet. You always a threat. You just walking around, you a threat. They have them go walk around with AR-15s and handguns and everything else. And they're not threatened by that, but they're threatened by if you unarmed, they're threatened. I saw a video the other day. They had a young sister who was really asking a legitimate question. She was like, what did we actually do? Like, seriously, could you point out something that we actually did to y'all? Like something in history? I mean, something that we did that you could say, oh, this is the reason why we hate y'all so much. This is the reason why we always trying to, harm and kill you. This is the reason why. I say, but, to the sister, anybody think that way, you're not going to get a reason because it's demonic. It is pure demonic. That's what it is. And Satan don't need a reason to hate you. I'll tell you this, you God's children, that's why they hate you. And those of you who say you go, you like reading the Bible and all that, didn't the Bible teach you the clear-cut sign is that you my people, is that you be hated by all nations? Think about that. What group of people is hated by all nations? All. What group of people is looked at funny by all nations? What group? You know what group it is. So, with that being said, that's why we're hated, sister, that made that video. And we need to start acting like who we really are too. And a lot of times we don't. See, some of my biggest problem is that we're believing in a system of wickedness, or a system of unrighteousness, and still kind of legitimizing that evil, corrupt system that's rigged against us. Now, many of you are starting to wake up now. Many of you are starting to see that, wait a minute, this system is too wicked and corrupt. This system is meant to hurt, harm, kill, sabotage, and destroy black people. It's meant for that. I mean, shoot, you got a 400-year history to look at how that is. It's not nothing that just happened in 2020. And surely you can't even blame Donald Trump on it either, because you get Donald Trump out and you get Joe Biden. And remember, Joe Biden was in office for 8 years. You were still getting killed. He didn't do nothing then. So why he gonna do something now? This is, like I said, once again, it's as I talked about on the live stream, if you guys had watched it, it's that hamster wheel I keep talking about. It's that circle, that revolving circle, over and over and over. What I told you, race soldiers kill us, Benjamin Crump, Lee Merritt, all them attorneys, they doing the talking, telling you what happened. People pissed, people upset. They go get the civil suit. The race soldiers, because there's a video, maybe something to happen, maybe because there's a video, but if they didn't have a video, and even if they do give them something, you never know. They may want to charge them with wanton endangerment because one of the bullets went into the street. You never know. I mean, they're going to try to find a way, to get out of it because, as they say, 1% of the time when they hurt and harm and kill black folk, nothing happens to them. Nothing. Why in the hell do I want to go and you telling me to go vote for Joe Biden and he don't even want to help my people out? He don't want to punish the race soldiers. He don't want to do it. He said he's not ending qualified immunity. He said it. If he was really serious about the black vote and saying, but he'll say tell you something stupid and say you're not black if you don't vote for him. The most dumbest thing ever. I mean, these Democrats have been the most, oh my God, this election cycle. I've never seen so much disrespect. You're not black if you don't vote for him. And then now you're sending twerking booty strippers to tell us to get our booty to the poll. I've never, no other race of people are disrespected that much. Blatantly disrespected. None. The Democrats or even Republicans don't disrespect nobody else, but we constantly being disrespected. Right after Breonna Taylor, around the time Breonna Taylor don't get no justice, you putting out this kind of commercial. That's why I say no. Like I said, this is nothing but wickedness, corruption, murder, and we need to keep calling it out as such. This is state-sanctioned genocide. We need to keep calling that as such. Not police brutality, state-sanctioned genocide. The state is America. Sanctioning is the laws that give them the right to murder us in the street. Genocide is the targeting of one people group in mass. Okay? Those three things are constantly happening to black folks. We got to say state-sanctioned genocide against black Americans. We got to repeat that constantly. Just as much as we had started talking about Mzungu and everything and people saying that a lot, great. But now we need to make sure to start saying state-sanctioned genocide of black Americans. Don't say nothing else. Say state-sanctioned genocide of black Americans when it comes to these police, because that's what it is. We got to use the term genocide. We got to understand that the sanctioning is the laws that they have created, that your Democrat friends, Nancy Pelosi and all of them do nothing about. And you say, well, they did a bill about the police and they wanted to end qualified immunity, this and that and the third. Listen, they can do a whole lot more even on a local level. A lot of these killings are happening even in Democrat cities, okay? California is a Democrat state. Even your mayors could end qualified immunity in their cities. So don't tell me what they can't do on local level or even state level if they can't get something done on the federal level. Trust me, they can get a lot done. But, it's like I said, it's just sad. And the world is watching. The world is watching. The world watching all of this, America. They watching you. You have no leg to stand on throughout the world. You can't talk about the Chinese Communist Party or anybody else that's doing human rights violations when you are leading the human rights violations just as much as the Chinese Communist Party. But leave me a comment there. Let me know what you think about the situation with our brother, Dijon Kizzie. And like I said, we're going to, stay on top of these stories. But it's a reality, folks, here in America. I know some of you don't like seeing this reality, but it is reality. That's why I told y'all last night, you want to stay on this hamster wheel of death, destruction, lawsuits, all that, you better figure something else out.